Hi. I think I've got it in the right bit. Right. I've got some questions and stuff sent by Jimmy Teens to talk to people about my experience so far and how everything's going. I'm gonna answer some questions and tell you how I feel about things, or how, like I said, things are going. How did cancer impact on education and employment? Well, my education, I was due to go to university this year, but obviously that's got backtracked. Education-wise, I was last November, when the real symptoms kicked in. I was doing my football and stuff and trying to pursue something to do with football. And last November, near my birthday, I had a American scholarship trial, basically. I was accepted straight away. Went up to Glasgow for an interview and that went great. They said that I was highly noticed because I had my name on the back of my shirt and I was talked about a lot. Cause when we did the trial, we weren't there was girls and boys, that we were all mixed. So there was high scholarship worthy males and little me, and obviously I did what I needed to do, so I got that, and I went up to Glasgow, had the interview. Like I said, it went great. They wanted to sign me on. They sent me the contract to do it, to go over to America and all that. And then I became physically not being able to walk. I was in a wheelchair for a while, which was a pain, because someone going from doing things over every single day, doing sport all the time, that was a big setback for me, not being able to do that anymore. Obviously I had to turn the American scholarship down, which was, although a big dream, it was the best thing to do. My education now, to do with going to uni over here and finishing my A-levels. My A-level was only a BTEC course, so it's all coursework. So what I needed to do is just finish coursework. So I've literally only got half a year to do, because I did drop out in January, so I've only got from there to June of work to do, so that's fine. I've been doing it, I've been taking it to hospital with me, so it's been really good. Support wise, they've been, I suppose, I couldn't ask for any better support from my school. They've raised money for the Teenage Cancer Trust, they've did events for me, they've done, on the last day of sixth form, one of my best friends shaved his head to raise money. They did a massive race for life, I think it was, I'm sure it was, in aid of us, and obviously that. That was really good. They got middle schools to come to our school, they all did the laps and stuff, so that was a lot of money raised there too, which is pretty good. Obviously our bands, they've sold loads of these. They ordered a pack, and within a week they had to order another pack, within a week they had to order another, and it's been, the response and support has been impeccable. I couldn't have asked for any better support from my education, I suppose. Hoping to go uni obviously next year, become a PE teacher, I'm hoping anyway. Hospital, I'm being treated at Adam Brooks in Cambridge. They're brilliant. I do miss it when I'm not there, but then when I am there, I'm like, oh, I want to go home. But then the only bit I don't like is being attached to the machine. Because of my chemo, I have to have Mesner in my fluids. I've got to have that constantly. I don't get a break until it's all finished. Staying in hospital, food-wise, my taste buds and my stomach just can't bear it. I have to take my own stuff, because as soon as I get on the ward, my body just goes, no, I'm not having their food, I'm not having it. So I normally end up ordering Domino's, so whatever patients are in then with me, we all have a nice feast and stuff. Or when people visit, they come and they'll order food and stuff, so it's not bad, I suppose. So yeah, this obviously, that's the also good side of it as well. You can order things. They don't say, well, no, you can't. We can send people down and go get the food and stuff. The ward-wise is brilliant. It's perfect for a teenager. A pool table, a telly, an Xbox, a jukebox, everything that I do at home, I suppose. I get to lay in bed and watch films, I can do that at hospital. I can go out with friends and we'll go play pool. We'll all play together. It is very, very teenage friendly, so that is brilliant. Visiting times, they don't really have visiting times, I suppose. They do, but they're very lenient with them. So if, obviously all my friends work, so they can't get to the hospital until, say, a later time. But as long as we're taking, like, being wary of other patients and noise and stuff, it's completely fine. Like, the nurses are great with it as well. They know me by now, so they know that I'm going to be loud regardless if people are there. So, yeah, visiting times are good. The Teenage Cancer Trust. Do you like being on the Teenage Cancer Trust unit? Yeah, I love it. Like, I don't think I would be able to be this happy all the time, even on the ward having chemo, be this happy if I wasn't on it. Like, they've been a godsend. I couldn't have asked for a better unit. You come out of our unit and there's I think it's the adult chemo ward across the like the corridor, and it's just green. Like, it's just painted green, and you look sort of in the window and it's just looks dull, and it just doesn't look like a happy environment. Like, in our unit, in our ward, yeah, we're all going through a horrible, horrible thing, but everybody's happy. They're not getting down about it. They're just being themselves. They're just getting on with it, and the nurses are brilliant because they help you do that. I couldn't have asked for a better unit, I suppose. Have you been on any trips? I have, and it was amazing. Find Your Sense of Humour is absolutely brilliant, and if anyone gets the chance to go on it, please go on it because it's amazing. We were there 3 nights and 4 days, I suppose, and our staff were amazing as well because we were talking to other units. For example, a unit, I'm not obviously say, but a unit, they weren't allowed to leave their chalet or go anywhere unless they had a member of staff or a valid reason to go. But we were allowed to do whatever we liked. Like, although we didn't actually go out a lot because it was raining and horrible, but we all stayed together and had a laugh. But then when I was talking to the staff about it, she said to me, well, you're adults. You're adults, you're over 18. We're not there to keep you prisoners or anything. So, yeah, that was amazing. If anyone gets a chance, I learned so much from it, and seeing other people's experiences and actually meeting people for the first time that have exactly the same tumour as me, and to see that they're in remission and they're doing great and stuff, it just gives me a bit more hope. Like, it's amazing to meet other people. Do I know the work that they do? I do. I'm very aware of it because I try to get involved as much as I can. Like the Find a Sense of Tumour, I've been to that. The Royal Albert Hall gigs, I want to go for that. There's also Ella MacArthur trip, a sailing trip that I'm hoping to go on next year, which I know someone that's been on it and said it's brilliant, so hopefully I'm going to be able to get to go on it. Moving on to fertility. How do I feel about my current fertility? I was told that I would lose my fertility, but on Find Your Sense of Tumour, it's not always the case. You have to be tested to be certain. So that's like another, I say bonus, but then I've always said that I didn't want children anyway, and if I did and I was settled down with someone and had a career and stuff, that would be different. But yeah, I do know that, like, through my radiotherapy, because it was on my left side and my pelvis and near my left ovary, that was one of the side effects, is that I will lose my left ovary. So technically I've only got my right ovary that's fully working and fully functional and does its business. But yeah, I don't know if I might get tested, I might not. But then, being me, I can get my partner to carry. So if it ever did come down to it, if they were willing to carry, then that'd be different. Was I given a chance to preserve my fertility? I was asked, but I refused because we had to start treatment straight away because of how much my tumour had grown. because it had come out of my pelvis into my spine, squashing my nerves, which caused my left leg to be paralysed. That is why I was in a wheelchair. So I wanted to get started straight away. Didn't want any more delays. I'd had months of delays from going to the GP and being told that it was just something wrong with my hip, and that my 2 stone weight loss was just all in my head. Like, I had such a terrible journey getting diagnosed. Since being diagnosed, it's been brilliant. Like, I've been getting on with it. Yeah, I've had a few hiccups, like getting meningitis, and I got very ill the first time, but that's just one of the obstacles I've got to get over. But the journey towards being diagnosed was the biggest problem, because I was being told things are all in my head, because my uncle and nan had cancer, so she thought it was all psychological and stuff. So yeah, I was sent to a psychiatrist. That didn't help, obviously, because it wasn't in my head, and she told me it was something wrong with my hip. And then, because the tumour had grown that much, you could see it physically coming out of my back, and she told me that was just a muscle spasm. So yeah, the journey to get diagnosed was horrible, and I would not want to relive it at all. Not that that's all. I've just said all that to do with fertility, regardless. So yeah, okay. Was I told possible side effects? Yeah, I was, and I accepted it, because it wasn't. To some people, it would be important, and I know there are people out there that really want kids but can't. And I turn around and just say, well, no, I don't want children. And if that changes, then I will have a partner, and if she's willing to carry, then that's different. But it wasn't a big thing for me. I don't know how to really put it. It wasn't a big thing, because I had more important things in my head to think about. My nan and my uncle are terminal, and I'm able to survive it. I've been told it's curable, so if I can do it, I'm doing it for them. So fertility wasn't a big thing. I've got beautiful nephews and a niece, and I don't need my own children. And if I do, that, like I said, my partner. So no, fertility was not a big thing, or the possible side effects. Going on to body image, has my treatment affected my body image? Well, in a way, yeah, but in a way, no. Because I had already, like I said, I had lost 2 stone, so I had become very skinny. The only, I suppose, body side effects that chemo's done is muscle wastage, because I wasn't able to move or do anything. So literally, I can fit my hands around my thighs. I've got orangutan arms. You can fit your hand around my ankles, so it's just, yeah, I think that's other people that have been on steroids. I've seen they've put on weight, but I've not. I was allergic to my steroid, so obviously I've not had any. So yeah, literally my body image is just very thin, and trying to eat and put on weight is just so difficult, because no matter how much I eat, I just keep somehow losing weight every time I'm going to hospital. So it's frustrating, because I'm trying and it's just not working, but that's just part of treatment. Maybe after, I will build muscle and I will get back on track with my life, and I'll do the things I want to do. So yeah, that's the effects of treatments on my body image. Coming up to the end of treatment, I am coming up to the end of my treatment. I've got 4 lots of chemo left. I had 6 lots of aggressive chemo, which was difficult, I suppose. The first one I had, I become very, very ill. Very ill. And that was just horrible. So, and then the rest of them weren't so bad, and I did them, So I had 6 aggressive chemos every 3 weeks. They were all 5 days. So I'd be in Tuesday till Friday or Saturday. And then I'd go home 2.5 weeks back again. So I had that 6 times. Then I had a 3-week break, and then I had 6 weeks of radiotherapy every single day but the weekend. So I stayed at the hospital. I kept getting ill while having radiotherapy. I think I only spent 2 of the 6 weeks actually in the flat, because I kept becoming ill and I would end up on the ward for some reason or the other, which wasn't so bad because I wasn't attached all the time. The first 2 weeks of radiotherapy they wanted to do chemo at the same time. So started radio, went up for chemo, finished the chemo, and on the last day where they took me off like everything, so went on the Tuesday, had radiotherapy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday morning, I'd come off, like I'd finished my fluids and everything, and I remember it because I remember Charlie coming in and taking my leads off, and she was like, "Oh, you all done?" And then I just rolled over and went back to sleep, and then I kept like waking up, but it had turned out I was then in for another 2 weeks because I'd caught a viral infection which is called meningitis. So I think that's been my worst experience of any side effect so far, is catching my meningitis, because that was just horrible, like being light and sound sensitive and not being able to eat and just wanting to sleep all the time. Everyone think, yeah, sleep all the time, brilliant, but it's horrible, and people that have had it will know that it's just not something that anyone would want. It's really bad. How do I feel about the end of treatment? Happy. It's been good. Like, to think I've had 10 lots of chemo so far and 6 weeks of radio, infections, and it's just a year that I'm not going to forget, but I'd like to forget, but I'm not going to, and it's a year that I can turn around and say, I kicked cancer's ass, and I did it, and no one could take that from me. That's something, everyone supported me, the nurses have done amazing job, the doctors, everyone, but for the people that survive, they're just like, oh, I've done it. Like, sometimes people can't do it. And I think I'll be more emotional when they tell me that I've done it than I was when I was diagnosed. I only cried because Mum cried on me. I wasn't happy that I'd got cancer. I was happy that I had answers. I was in so much pain and I had answers and something could be done about it. So, yeah, I'm happy it's coming to the end so I can get everything back on track. But yeah, it's been a long journey, but in a way it's gone quick. It's very quick. Mental health. How has a cancer diagnosis impact on your mental health? For example, do I worry less and stuff? My mental health before, it wasn't great because I had a lot of depression. Growing up, I had very bad depression. I was bullied very bad. I was moved away to Essex from my family to my dad's 60 miles away from my home, because it had got to a point where I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to be around. That what was being said to me was just, I couldn't cope anymore. I'd been bullied for years, and then my sister passed, and I got bullied about it. And they're vile people. And yeah, they bullied me about it, and that was the last straw. I could put up with them saying, oh, you're this, and I was like, whatever. It affected my behaviour really bad. Like, I wasn't the best behaved student until I got to year 10 and realised that GCSEs weren't just going to be handed to me. So I've had a difficult growing up, but I've got through it. I've become this amazing person, obviously. So yeah, it's something that I can sort of turn around to the bullies and say, well, you've not got a job, you've not got GCSEs, you've not got qualifications, you're just sitting on the street all day, like smoking drugs, and it's just something that I can just look at them and laugh at them. Like, the person I've become to the person they are is just a big difference. So in a way I'm glad, because not in a way I'm glad they did it, because they put me through hell and I got moved away from my family, but I'm sort of glad that it's made me a better person, definitely. Like, I'm so much, before year 11, I suppose, I was quite quiet. Like, around my family and friends, you wouldn't shut me up, but yeah, I was very quiet. I got to sixth form and I definitely did come out my shell. So yeah, mental health, it's getting better. Recently, when I was rushed back in a few weeks ago, I had a suspected blood clot, and I was getting all the pains that I had before I was diagnosed. And then I started getting voices in my head telling me it was a tumour, it's going to be terminal, and I broke down because I thought I'd got past that stage of being told things and being told I'm worthless, and it's just, yeah, that was very difficult. And then I had a member of staff with me all night. I didn't sleep all night. I don't think I would have handled it. I didn't handle it very well, of course I didn't, but I think I would have been worse if I was at home or on my own, definitely. But I know there weren't many patients, but there was only 2 staff, and she sat with me, unless she was called out to do something, she sat with me the whole night, and I can't thank her enough. Having someone there was definitely, helped a lot, and talking about it as well, yeah, that was good too. Moving on to survivorship, obviously I'm not there yet, but there is a few questions that I have thought about before to myself, do you feel guilty for being a survivor? I went to a fundraiser the other week, and it was for the Teenage Cancer Trust, and also I think it was Macmillan or the Keachers Trust. It was another charity as well, because my brother's best friend passed away from melanoma. So we had a joint thing at the pub they lived in, and she passed away there. And I was sort of thinking ahead. I was like, well, yeah, I want a party that I've said, yeah, I've survived, I've done this, I've done it. I want to show people that what a difference I am to when it all started. So, but then I was thinking, should I ask to have it at the pub or shouldn't I? Because in a way, inside, I did feel a bit guilty that I've survived and Laura's lost her life to it. I know they're different things, and no one could have helped it or anything, but yeah, I did feel a bit guilty, and I probably will always feel, if I survive and I get through it, I think I definitely always feel a bit guilty that I've done it and some people haven't, and yeah, it's not a nice feeling at all. But I don't know if everyone gets that feeling a little bit, but yeah, I've definitely felt it before, and I think I'll always feel it. The fear of relapse. I've had a fear of it before, because close friends that obviously I'm now close with, they've had a sarcoma, got rid of it, they've relapsed, and some of them are on their 3rd relapse, and yeah, it does scare me a little bit. But then someone I met at Find Your Sense of Tumour, she's had exactly the same as me. She's been in 2 years remission, so yeah, that's a bit of a booster. But I've definitely had a fear of relapse. There's a part on relapse, but obviously I haven't. So yeah, that sort of concludes it. That's a bit about me, obviously, and what I think of things. What I'm going to do now, I'm doing vlogs every day. I've got the camera, thanks to jimmyteens. Thanks, bro. I can start doing things and showing people my day-to-day life of how I sort of cope with it, if that makes sense. Because I've got this, I don't sit at home and feel sorry for myself. You'll see in vlogs, I started on Thursday, but I will be doing them every day, and some might be long, some might not be but they might even be boring, because things don't always happen. I'm not always busy. Sometimes, just like today, I've just sat in bed. So yeah, I'll be doing those, showing people a day-to-day life of a cancer patient, showing them the hospital and how things run. So if you head over to YouTube/Shelby Clark, then yeah, you'll find the vlogs and some videos from before that I've done a while back. So yeah, this is some questions that some people have answered and now I've done. So I hope I've sort of give you an idea of what I've done and stuff. So yeah, and maybe see you soon. Ciao.